Om Nidaye Sarva Vidyanam Vishajhe Bavaroginam Gurave Sarva Lokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaham Om Namah Pranabhartaya Shuddhajnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namah Ishvara Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavatyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namah Shruti Smrti Purananam Halayam Karunalayam Namami Bagavath Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutravashya Krito Vande Bhagavanta Punah Punah Yadvare Nikila Nilim Paparishat Siddhim Vidatte Nisham Srimat Sri Lasitam Jagat Gurupadam Natvatma Tripting Gata Loka Ajnana Payoda Patanaduram Sri Shankaram Sharmadam Shankara Bagavath Padacharya Guruvaram Dhyayami Jyotirmayam Om ஒன்றவன்தானே இரண்டவன் இன்னருள் நின்றனன் மூன்றினுள் நான்கு உணர்ந்தனன் ஐந்து வென்றனன் ஆறு விரிந்தனன் ஏழும்பாற் சென்றனன் தான் உருந்தான் உணர்ந்து எட்டு இன்கேஸ் தான் இருந்தான் உணர்ந்து எட்டு ஓம் நம சிவாய ஓம் நம சிவாய ஓம் நம ஸ்ரீமதாத்மனே குணைக சிந்தவே நம சிவாய தாமலேஷ தூத கோக பந்தவே நம சிவாய श्रीमदात्मने गुणैक सिंधवे नमः शिवाय दामलेश दूत कोक बंधवे नमः शिवाय नाम शेषता नमद्भबान्धवे नमः शिवाय नाम शेषता नमद्बान्धवे नमः शिवाय शता नमद्बान्धवे नमः वामरेतर प्रधान बन्धवे नमः शिवाय कालभीत विप्रभाल पालते नमः शिवाय कालभीत विप्रभाल पालते नमः शिवाय कालभीत विप्रभाल पालते नमः शिवाय शूलभिन्न दुष्ट दक्ष पालते नमः शिवाय मूलकारणाय काल कालते नमः शिवाय मूलकारणाय काल कालते नमः शिवाय कालयादुनदयाल भालते नमः शिवाय इष्टवस्तु मुख्य दान हेतवे नमः शिवाय दुष्ट दैत्य वंश धूम केतवे नमः शिवाय सृष्टि रक्षणाय धर्म सेतवे नमः शिवाय अष्टमूर्तये वृषेन्द्र केतवे नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम ओम नमः शिवाय Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. This was composed by Adi Shankaracharya. Now, Adi Shankaracharya composed a lot of hymns. Very popularly known, you all know those Bhajagovindam, Ganesha Pancharatnam, Saundarya Lahiri, many. But this is one of those that not many people will know. Before you go further, you have to know a little bit about Adi Shankaracharya. Most of you know, but I want to drive home a point here. In Tamil, we have a saying, Unga veetu killikira illannu solluvom. Unga veetu killikira. So Adi Shankaracharya is not someone to be taken for granted. He's not your veetu killikira. There is no one equal to him before him. There was no one equal to him after him, and there will be no one ever will be equal to him. What he did not do? He was the pinnacle of intellect. Wrote commentaries on the most complicated shastras, right? Brahma Sutras. He won debates, every debate that he engaged in. That's as far as the intellect is concerned. If you're talking about a Gnani, he was a Gnani par excellence, the top of the top, the cream of the crop. A Siddha, forget about it. All these miracles that you hear these days will pale into insignificance like that if you read what Adi Shankaracharya did. Unfortunate that we are not popularizing all these miracles. People should be running to Adi Shankaracharya and praying for healing. He turned the course of a river. You all know the story. He heard golden gooseberries rain from the sky. And he contained the Narmada flood in a kamandal. What else do you want? Huh? He went from one body to another. On top of it, there's not many who have done this. Very few that you can count with your fingers. He melted his body into life trance. At the end of his journey, he melted his body into life trance. Unconquerable wisdom. There's no one who could conquer him. There's only one who conquered him. You know who that is? Who was that? Chandala. Who was that Chandala? Paratpara Parameshwara. The only one who could conquer him was Paratpara Parameshwara himself. So it was a great avatar. It is a holistic avatar. Holistic not with H, but H-W-H-O. Holistic, whole. Lacking in nothing. 200% whole. Why 200%? His head was high up in the clouds. 100%. His feet were firmly planted on the ground, another 100%. There would be no administrator, no prime minister, no president equal to Adi Shankaracharya. If you look at what he did, even in those days, many centuries ago, 12 centuries ago, he divided in the countries into administrative zones, appointed people trained by him. Do you know something else? He wrote SOP. You know that? He wrote SOP, how to run these centers, east, west, north, south. Firmly planted on the very practical, very practical. And very practical in the sense how to deal with the popular people. He addressed the concerns of the people. He addressed the suffering of the people. That's how practical he was. That's how practical he was. So, Panchakshara, Nakshatra, Mala, Stotram. Panchakshara, Nakshatra, Mala. 3 adjectives. Why Panchakshara? because there are many Panchakshari Mantras. There are Devi Panchaksharis, different gods and goddesses of Panchakshari. So therefore, Shiva Panchakshari, Shiva Panchakshara, Nakshatra, Mala, a garland of stars. Stars, Nakshatra. Now when we talk about stars, nakshatras, it's beautiful in Vedas. Pitam yasya dharidri jaladhara kalasham lingam akashamurtim. Nakshatram pushpamalyam graha kana kusumam chandra vanyarka netram kukshit sapta samudram bhujagirishikaram sapta padala padam Pitam yasya dharidri jaladhara kalasham lingam akashamurtim nakshatram pushpamalyam graha kana kusumam chandra vanyarka netram. Vedas themselves garlanded Lingam Akashamurtim with the garland of the stars and the bouquet of planets. Bouquet of planets. And this tradition has been carried on from time immemorial. So Adi Shankaracharya is not the first one to write the Nakshatra Mala Stotram. And then the reason he added Panchakshari to it, because the Panchakshari itself is unbelievably powerful mantra. And the glory of Panchakshari has been sung from time immemorial, at least conservative estimates, 5,000 years, even before the Vedas could get around to it. In Tamil Nadu, Tirumoolar started. Tirumoolar is supposed to have lived for 3,000 years. Siva Siva Engilar Thivinai Yalar, Siva Siva Endida Thivinai Malam, Siva Siva Endida Devaram Siva Siva Endida Siva Gadidane. So let's start with the Vedas here. Vidyasu Sruti Utkrishta Rudra Ekadashini Srutau Tatra Panchakshari Vidyasu. There are so many of you are here. Each one of you are qualified in a different field. Sabina is a doctor, neurology, right? Yes, he's a specialist. And then he has urology, he is a robotic surgeon, he is a cardiac specialist. So, and then you have other specialists here, biochemistry. He dispenses medicines for the pharmacists, physicists, and then you have biochemistry here. all this. No, these are all different vidyas. These are all different fields of knowledge. So of all these fields of knowledge, Vidyasu, medicine, chemistry, physics, of all these fields of knowledge, Shrutirutkrishta, the supreme knowledge is those of the holy scriptures. Vidyasu, Shrutirutkrishta. And even those holy scriptures, what is supreme? Rudra Ekadashini Srutau. Among the Shrutis. And you want me to count the Shrutis? In Hinduism, you lose count. Have you ever tried it? Have you ever tried to count how many scriptures we have? Did anybody try? How many we have? You can try. Vedas are how many? Vedangas. 6. Darshanas. Shat Darshanas. Puranas. 18. Upanishads. This is only in Sanskrit. Only in Sanskrit. How about Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, Marathi, Gyaneshwari? Every language has Vedas in it. Panniri Tirumurai, the 12 Vedas in Tamil. You know that? Every language, Avad language. Tulsi Ramayana. Everybody thinks Tulsidas was a great bhakta of Lord Shiva. Lord Ram. And he wrote such a very simple Avad language that a villager could understand, because Valmiki was beyond the reach of many people. I'm digressing away from what I took to speak. So, Tulsidas Ji, who was as much a simpleton that a villager can understand, you know what he did? He also composed the highest Sanskrit, even the greatest scholars cannot do. And not only itty-bitty Sanskrit, Vonga Vitta, Enga Vitta, Samaskritam kediyadu. Vedantic Sanskrit, which includes in it everything. Formless worship with a form. Namami Shamishan Nirvana Rupam Vibhum Vyapakam Brahma Veda Swarupam. Tulsidas Ji. I'm not singing Hanuman Chalisa here, okay? Nijam Nirgunam Nirvikalpam Niriham Vedanta. Nijam he alternates. Sakara Nirakara. Nijam Nirgunam Nirvikalpam Niriham Nirakaram Onkaramulam Turi. That's how Upanishads define Lord Shiva. Shivam Shantam Chaturtam Manyante. Sahatma Savijnaya. Know him to be your Atma. You know, if you all don't misunderstand me, I'm going to give you a fact that might shock you. Adi Shankaracharya lived for how many years? 32 years. Very good. And who else lived 32 years? Some of you must be from Tamil Nadu. Exactly 32 years. Manikavasagar. Usha did that. Manikavasagar. Exactly 32. They all had a mission. And then Manikavasagar merged with in Lord Nataraja. Shankaracharya merged in Kailash, melted into light. Two different corners of India. This is what I'm going to tell you. What did he do all his life, Adi Shankaracharya? He drummed Vedanta, didn't he? Vedanta Dhindima, dun dun. Aham Brahmasmi, dun 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 dun. Tattvamasi, dum 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 dum. I am Atma, Brahman, dum dum dum. Prajnanam Brahma, Mahavakyas. Isn't what he drummed? Aham, Brahma, Tattvam, you see, I am Atma, Brahman. Everything Brahman, right? Everything Brahman. If I tell you, he was not telling you the truth, what do you say? That's the truth. 12-year-old, maybe less 10, I don't know, I'm not sure. He walks 2,000 miles from Kaladi to Madhya Pradesh, near Omkareshwar. By the time he reaches, listen, watch this. I mean, I'm sorry, we are just Nakshatra Mala is far away. 2,000 miles covered in 2 months, 60 days. How many miles he walked a day? Close to about 30 miles. A little boy, who would feed him? Who would protect him from the rain, from the thunder, from the storm, from the animals, from starvation? He walked. Why he did that? To go to Publix, a couple of blocks away, you jump in the car and drive, don't you? And he walked 30 miles a day. For who? For all of us. But for him, the entire India would be bald-headed. The only state where Shankaracharya was jobless or unemployed was Tamil Nadu. This job was done for him 200 years ago by Gnana and Appar, which he mentions in his Saundarya Lahari. He mentions Sambandar, Dravida Sishu. So, coming back to where we started, 12-year-old comes close to the banks of Narmada. Narmada is in full flood. And he needs to get across the river to go to the other bank to his guru, Govinda Padacharya, who is in complete samadhi in a little cave. If you had been to Jabalpur, you would know what I'm talking about. They're not big, huge, tall hills, but they're tiny hillocks. There are caves there. So he's in one of these caves with a lot of these chelas around. In Samadhi, and the flood is rising. And these students are getting jittery because he's in Samadhi. They're afraid that the flood might sweep him away. He might be swept away in the flood. Adi Shankara is watching all this drama from this side. Takes his kamandal, dips it in Narmada, contains the entire flood in a kamandal, walks across, the flood receded, and these chelas, these disciples, are jumping of joy. ये बालक ने आपको बचा दिया, बचा दिया, बचा दिया. In this halchal, the guru wakes up. What's going on here? Then they tell him, this boy saved your life. When he looks at him, he says, who are you? If you ask somebody one of these days, a boy, who are you? He's going to tell him, who are you? You know, that's these days. He asked Shankara. Shankara didn't say who he was. He said who he was not. Mano buddhya hankara chitta ninaham. I'm not the mind. I'm not the buddhi, intellect. I'm not the chitta. And the last one is a very tricky one. Mano buddhya ahankara. Ahankara means it's not gamanda or garvam here. Ahankara means I'm not that I think I am. What do we mean by this? The I that I think I am, when you're 4 years old, who was that I that you thought you were? 4 years old, I'm talking about. So rewind back to your 4-year-old. 16-year-old, that I. 20-year-old I. 25-year-old I. All these were different or what? Who is the real I? Yeah. Your concept of who you are keeps changing. First you associate with the body. 4-year-old, you're only like 3 feet. You are still there. Weren't you? 16-year-old, you're 5 feet. And you thought you're 5 feet. But you're really 4 feet or 5 feet, which is the real one. You were not bald-headed when you were 20 years old. Who is the real one? We are all getting there. We are all there, all of us. Who is the real one? So we all thought that was us. We all thought this is the handsome me, but this is the ugly me. None of that's you. So the I that I think I am, that's not me. अरे भाई ठीक है लेकिन बता तो तुम कौन हो सर सही. All right, you're not this, but finally tell me who you are. He says, Chidananda Rupam Shivoham. What did he say? I am. So what did he do rest of his life? Aham. Why did he do that? The reason he did it. Because the purpose of incarnation was to unite all the Hindus. Because we were the cause of our own destruction. You know that? We were divided into 6 sects. Even now, same story continues in a different form. 6 sects. Ganapatyam. Mugdha from Maharashtra worship Ganeshas. Ganapatyam. Ganesha worships from Bombay, Maharashtra to entire India now. Now everywhere Ganesha is in procession. Even in Chennai, where we never heard of when we grew up, Ganesha, big Ganesha in procession. All that we used to do was go and buy a little Ganesha from a shop, do puja. Now you see these huge Ganeshas and trucks going around thanks to Maharashtra and Bombay. Ganapatyam. Storam, Gujarat, worshippers of sun god. Saurashtra. And then Kaumaram, our own Tamil Nadu, wherever there is a hill, there will be Murugan. I remember an instant, one of my niece was here on an internship. So we were driving her from, me and Swamini were driving her from Fort Lauderdale to Orlando. And then she asked me, Uncle, what is that green mountain, little green mountain? I said, Ashwini, that's Mount Trashmore. She believed me. And I said, if this was in Tamil Nadu, we would have a Muruga temple on top of it. So Kaumaram is exclusively for South, but now it's all over. Now even we have a Malay Mandir in Delhi now. So that's Kaumaram, Shaktam and Vainavam and Shaivam. They're totally 6 sects. So fighting with each other. So Adi Shankaracharya came to unite all of us. So we will raise one flag, drive away the antagonistic religions. And not only drive away antagonistic religions, but even among ourselves, the Karmakandis, who were following the Vedas to the letter. The spirit of the Vedas was thrown out the window. To give you a crude example, you're giving a bath to the baby, and you throw the baby with the what? Bath water. You threw the baby with the bath water. So spirit of the Veda, that is why Adi Shankara had to come and re-establish it. See what that happened, because that distanced these following this to the, don't do this, don't do this, don't do, you can't move this. That distanced the common people. So the religion and people there was a dichotomy. You won't connect to the board. Yeah. So what I was saying was, you can turn this around. The camera. Either way. So people can see. So that's what he did. He brought Veda back to its spirits, and he said, you have to go by the spirit of the Veda, not by the letter of the Vedas, and that's what saved us. So right from Subramanya Bhujangam all the way to the south, all the way up to the North Kashmir, he sang glory. Kali, Panduranga, Pandurangashtakam. Parabrahmalingam, Bhaje Pandurangam. You put linga on top of Panduranga, which literally there is a Shivalingam on Pandurangashtakam. You know that? Yeah. Parabrahmalingam, Bhaje Panduranga. Good. So that was Adi Shankara. And well, coming back to the Panchakshari, power of Panchakshari. Panchakshari is enshrined in the Vedas. The Taittiriya Samhita, Krishna Yajurveda Taittiriya Samhita, in the fifth Prapataka of the fourth Kanda is where Rudram comes. Now the fourth Kanda is the center one of the 7 Kandas of Krishna Yajurveda. So 4 is in the middle, you have 3 on this side, you have 3 on. So what is at the center? 4. So fifth Prapataka is at the center of the fourth Kanda. And the Rudram is center of the fifth Prapataka. And the 8th Anuvakam is the middle of the Rudram. And Panchakshari Nama Shivaya is in the middle of the 8th Anuvakam. Like the one that you see on that slide. Crushed jewel, like a pendant on a necklace. Now, this may be news for you. This is not only in Sanskrit. In Tamil also the same way. Tamil, the main 3 Vedas are, we call them Tevaram, by Gnana Sambandar, Appar and Sundarar, but the only hymns that are called Tevaram is by Appar. The ones by Gnana Sambandar are called Tirukadai Kapu, and the one by Sundaramurti Nayanar is called Tirupattu. But they all called Tevaram in general. So in these 3, in Appar Padigams, right in 50, exactly in the middle, among the 3, Gnana Sambandar, Appar, Sundarar, Appar in the middle, and then in the middle of Appar, in the 50th one is where Namah Shivaya comes. Panchakshari. So that's why literally Vidya Susruti Utkrishta Rudra Ekadashini Sruto Tatra Panchakshari. And even in the Panchakshari, what's most supreme? Tasyam, there, what? Shiva ityaksharadvayam. The two letters of Shiva. That's why you go in the south, you'll see these two letters well written on the towers. Shiva, 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 everywhere. And when you grow up, when I grew up, when you're a little mischievous, running around here and there, my mother used to call me, Sevanen okkar orathula. We all used to say, just sit in one place like Shiva, okay? Shiva, Shiva, say Shiva, Shiva, and sit quietly. I mean, there's no equivalent translation for that. Sevanen okkar. Thinking of Shiva, just sit down quietly for heaven's sake. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. On the Upakva. So that's the middle of Panchakshari. Tirumala also said that 3000 years ago, like you said, Shiva Shiva Engilar Tivinayalar, Shiva Shiva Endida Tivinay Malum, Shiva Shiva Endida Devar Mavar, Shiva Shiva Endida Shiva Gadi Dane. Okay, so Tirumala, we don't have time for that. We're already nearing 4:45. Most of you have to go to the temple, right? So this is Tirumala. I don't have time for the story, but I'll just chant a couple of his hymns. Namayanum Namattai Navilodikki Nama, the first part of Panchakshari. Namayanum Namattai Navilodikki, holding the Nama on your tongue. Shivayanum Namattai Sindayil Etra, Nama Shiva. Bhava Madhutiram, when you do that, this Bhava Sagara is history. Parisamadhanal, and what's the reward? Avamaditiram. I marked in red letters. Avamadi. You know what is Avamadi? Crooked mind. You all think you're normal people. We are not. We are all mental patients. I'm telling you, we are all mental patients. Just, seriously, just this thin edge between us and the mental hospital. A very thin edge. It takes only little to push us over there. We all are, I'm telling you. There are times you would have seen life treats you like that, makes you mental patient. That is called avamadi. Buddhihinita nijanike. Sumati, you know. Sumati kare, what is that? Hanuman Chalisa. Komati. We all, that is avamadi. Komati nivar. So that's what this does. Avamadutirum. When that happens, Arum Pirapandro, the cycle is cut off. Death and birth and is gone. Ondru Gandir Ulahukku oru Deivam. There's only one God. As per Tirumala, Lord Shiva. Ondru Gandir Ulahukku oru Deivam. Ishate Ishani Bihi. There is the Upanishads. There is no other Lord to lord over him. Sayekaha. Lord Shiva is the only one. Shiva Tarayacha. Avarkku nihar avare. The only one equal to him is himself. Shivayacha, Shiva Tarayacha. Taras, animation. Ondru Gandir Ulahukku oru Deivam. Ondru Gandir Ulahukku oru Uyiravathu. That's his, that's only life, only soul. That's in every soul. That's what the entire Rudram is all about. That's all it is. You're in the pebble, you're in the grass, you're in the pond, you're in the frog, you're in the thief, you're in the dacoit, you're the chief of the dacoit. You are the dog and you are the owner of the dog. You are the dog and you are the one who walks the dog. That's Shiva, that is. Pure Advaita Vedanta, Rudram. Ondru Gandir Ulahukku oru Deivam. Ondru Gandir Ulahukku oru Uyiravathu. That's exactly what he's saying. That one life runs in all the lives. Nandru Gandir. In Nama Shivaya Palam, that fruit of Nama Shivaya, when you taste it, it's not bitter fruit, it's a very sweet fruit. It's so easy. Whoever has eaten that fruit, they found it to be so sweet, there's nothing equivalent to it. Tindru kandirkku tittitavare. That is Panchakshara. Kadala, this is Samandar. Kadalahi kasindu kannir malgi oduvardhammai nannari peepadu vedam nanginum maipporulavathu nadan namam namachi. Melting in the love of that Lord. Kadal. First you have to fall in love, not this falling in love that we see these days. This is a different Kadalai. But how do you know that you fall in love with the Lord? Kasindu, your heart should melt. But how do you know your heart is melting? Kannir melhi, your eyes should well up in waters, not run in tears like a crocodile, a river of tears like crocodile tears we call it. Not that. Your eyes should well up in tears, indicating that your heart is melted, indicating that you've fallen in love with the Lord. Kadalahi kasindu kannir melhi. Then you should do what? Oduvardhammai, chant Panchakshari. Then what happens? Nannerikkvipadu, they'll take you to the highest royal highway. And what is that? That's the essence of all the Vedas. Vedam nanginamai purulavathu. Vidyasa sruta utkrishta, rudra ekadashin sruta tatra panchakshari tasyam shiva ityaksharatvai. Essence of all the learning. Vedam nanginamai purulavathu nadan namam Namah Shivaya. Gnana Samandar also said, Nekku ul urihi, your heart melting, and holding a little Rudraksha in your hand. Nekkul arvam migaperihi, just that flood of love for Shiva. Arvam migaperihi. Akkumala kondu angayil ennuvar. Rudraksha mala chanting Namah Shivaya. What happens? Puts you in a rocket, sends you to Moksha, where you need to go first. There's so much to talk about this. Nama Shivaya mantra, this is a saint called Nava Graha Doshas. Because he switched his religion, he refused to come back to the religion he was. He was born in a Shaivite family. Because of peer pressure, 7th century, he became a monk in the other religion. Head shaved off. They don't take bath. They don't. And became such a high-level monk, Dharmasenar, that his name changed. But his sister was pining for him to come back to Saivism. Beg Lord Shiva in Tiruvirattanam. This is history I'm talking about. Every day she begged. Finally, it did happen one day. Shiva said the only way to bring this guy back is give him intense stomach pain and make sure there's no doctors around to heal him.
They all went to America.
They all went to America. That's exactly what happened. Then desperation, because once this happened, the religion that he belonged to, they cast him away because he was of no use. He used to win debates for them. But when they found out he's useless, they discarded him. So out of desperation, he came looking for his sister. I said, I'll accept you and also promise that you'll be healed. But you have to do only one thing. Accept Lord Shiva. Okay, he said, initiate me. So she takes a little vibhuti and gives him, this is the mantra of initiation. So usually when they initiate you, they give the Panchakshari Mantra, which is Nama Shivaya, and a little vibhuti. And because of that practice, the vibhuti itself, the name become Panchaksharam. So when you ask, even these days, you go ask Panchaksharam Kudunga. Panchaksharam Kudunga means not mantra, mandram Kudunga. It's not that give me mantra. Panchaksharam Kudunga means give me vibhuti. Manizulvar. Panchaksharam Kudunga means give me vibhuti. So she gives that to him in the Panchakshari Mantra. And then he sings to Lord Virataneshwara in desperation. Beautiful, heart-melting song. Kutra inavar vilakkalab. You know, when you sing that song, the pun, the way he sings it, like writhing in pain. Anyway, so he converted back. I think the king is going to like it. He was patronizing the other religion. He didn't like it. So he sent, so the monks, the other religion monks, said to the king that now it's a danger for your kingdom. He says, why? He just changed his religion. What's the big deal? No. Because he's changed his religion, he is going to influence the people and rise in revolt against you. You know, they could brainwash the mind. You know, these religions, the antagonistic religions, came on the basis of nonviolence, to such an extreme nonviolence. And it becomes such an extreme violent religion because of power. They had the patronage of kings. So as we say in English, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's exactly what happened. But he refused. You know one thing? We're talking about democracy hardly about 1947, 50s, or 1850, maybe 100 years, 250 years. 1200 years ago, in South India, one person raised a flag for the rights of an individual citizen. When the king sent for him, what he said? Namarkum kudiyallom. I'm not the slave of anybody. Go and tell your king. It's exactly what he said. Namarkum kudiyallom. Namanai anjam. I'm not even scared of the Lord of death. Naragathil idarpadam. You know, disobeying the king was believed to send you to Naraka. He says, I won't even go to that hell that you talk about. Namarkum kudiyallom. Naragathil idarpadam. Nadale illom. I'm not a person of falsehood. I'm just telling you the truth. Yemapom piniyariyam. There was Appar who told the soldiers, this is a song. Namarkum kudiyallom namanai anjam. Namarkum kudiyallom namanai anjam. Nama Shivaya, Nama Shivaya. Namarkum kudiyallom namanai anjam. Nama Shivaya, Nama Shivaya. Naragathil idarpadom nadalai illom. Naragathil idarpadom nadalai illom. Nama Shivaya. Yemapom piniyariyom panivomalom. Yemapom piniyariyom panivomalom. Nama Shivaya, Nama Shivaya, Nama Shivaya. Namarkum kudiyallom namanai anjam. Nama Shivaya, Nama Shivaya. Naragathil idarpadom nadalai illom. Nama Shivaya. Yemapom piniyariyom panivomalom. Yemapom piniyariyom panivomalom. Nama Shivaya, Nama Shivaya. Inbame ennalum tunbam illai. Nama Shivaya, Nama Shivaya, Nama Shivaya. Tamarkum kudiyallal tanmayana. Nama Shivaya. Sangaranat changaven kulayor kadil. Sangaranat changaven kulayor kadil. Komarke name என்றும் மீளாளாய். கோமார்க்கே நாம் என்றும் மீளாளாய். கொய்மலர் சேவடியினையே குறுகினோமே. நம சிவாயா, நம சிவாயா. That's exactly what he said. Only one that I bow my head to is Lord Shiva, who is a slave to nobody. Tam arkum kudiyalla. Same thing as Upanishad message. Ishate ishanivi. Sayeka nadvitiya. So I'll do the last line of this. பாராண்டு பகடேரி வருவார் சொல்லும். பாராண்டு பகடேரி வருவார் சொல்லும். பனிகேட்ட கடவோ புற்றும். நம சிவாயா, நம சிவாயா, நம சிவாய. பகடு, ராயல் elephant. those who come riding a royal elephant and ruling these whole areas and kingdoms, I'm not a slave to them. So go away. And they did a lot of things to try to kill him, put him in a kiln and tie him to a huge rock, throw him over. But what they didn't do to him, a religion that came on a basis of a non-violence, so much so that you wouldn't even hurt an insect, bacteria. A person is tied to a rock and thrown in on the ocean. And he said Nama Shivaya, and that rock, that whole huge boulder floated, as you see in the picture. And it got ashore near Pondicherry, and that place is named after this event called Karayeriyapakam. Irkal Karayeriyapakam. You're not telling a lie. Manigandan is my witness. He's from a place, Tirupangili. I'm going to talk about that. His whole family takes care of that temple, Tirupangili near Tiruchi. That's where Yama fell when Lord kicked him when he tried to come and get hold of Markandeya. That comes later. Shankaracharya mentions that in this Nakshatra Mala Stotram. So that is Appar Swami. And then Manikavasar says Namah Shivaya Valga. In his entire Thiruvasakam, he starts with this line, Panchakshari, glory to Panchakshari. He doesn't say glory to the feet of Lord Shiva. He doesn't say glory to Lord Shiva. He doesn't say glory to Natarajana. Glory to Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya Valga. Can talk about it for hours, but just going to move on. And this is Sundaramurti Nayanar. Sundaramurti Nayanar is so bad. You know what he says? Huh? I said he's so bad. Amma. You know what he said? The day you don't chant Nama Shivaya, he tells you what this day is. He says, Vovum Nal, Unar Valiyum Nal, Buyar Pade Mail, Kavu Nal. Upper was more polished. Pesa Nalam Piravanale. The day I don't talk about you, the day I don't say Nama Shivaya, is the day that I was not born. It's not counted. But Sundaramurti Nayanar went one step further. He says the day you don't chant Nama Shivaya, that's the day that you go on your palanquin on your last journey. Bobu Nal, the day you retire. Unar Valiyum Nal, all your consciousness withdrawn from the body. Uyir Pohum Nal, and you leave the body. And that's when you ride that royal ride, your last ride, and somebody's waiting there. Vutrar Yarularo. Upper again. Who is the relative? Who is the son? Who is the daughter? Who is the wife? Who is the brother? Who is the father? Who is the mother? Vutrar Yarularo. Nobody's going to wait for you there. We are going to Pomboludu. And who will wait for you there? Kutralature Kutanallal. Except Lord Shiva, nobody is going to be waiting for you there. That's why he's always in the cremation ground. Waiting for you. Therefore, what should I do? Talaye ni vanangai. Talai malai. Talai kanindu. Talai malai. Talai kanindu. Talayale bali tedum. Talaivanai. Talaye ni vanangai. Therefore, he is the one who is going to be waiting for you. He is your Marga Bandhu. Marga means not from I'm going from Madurai to Chennai or I'm going from Miami to Madras. That's not Marga Bandhu. You pray, do Marga Bandhu Stotram. Marga Bandhu Stotram, this is your journey from life to life. That is your Marga Bandhu. He is waiting for you there and comes with you all your janmas. That is Marga Bandhu. Appe Dikshidhar song. Beautiful. So, therefore, Upper says, Tale, therefore head, bow down to him. Talaye ni vanangai, to who? The one who has the dried head as a skull. Dried heads on his skull. You know whose heads are they? They are the heads of thousands of crores of Brahmas The skulls of Brahmas that he created. When we do Sankalpa, Manikandan does it every day. Adhya Brahmanaha, in the age of this Brahma, which means there were many Brahmas before, there will be many Brahmas after. Our calendar is not this itty-bitty 2000 calendar. It's beyond mind-boggling imagination. In the age of this Brahma, which is eons, and what? Divided into two parts. Dvitiya Pararte, day and night. We are in the night part, unfortunately. Missed the day. Dvitiya Pararte. And very aptly it is said, Sveta Varaha Kalpe. You know what Sveta Varaha? You figure it out. Kalpe. That is divided again. Manvantaras. Vaivashvata Manvantara. And that is again divided. Ashtavagimsadi. Tame. Then you come to familiar territories. Kali Yuge. Then you know, this is something I've heard. Can you put a number on this? So that's what we are saying. Talayale. Talaimale Talaikaninde, Talayale Balitedum. Now, he lives in this cremation ground. He's a beggar. That's what we have. We is called Shiva. In 10th Anuvakam, when you come to Rudram, you say, Drape. A drop out. Drape, Daridra. Drape, Andasaspade, Daridra. That's why we tell you. It's called Shiva. 10th Anuvakam. And then we put a huge list asking him to do this for me. Drape andasaspathe daridra nila lohita. Right away. Esam purushanam, esam pashunam, maber maro. பிச்சைக்காரப்பையில் எங்களுக்கெல்லாம் சோறு போடுறவனே, ரைட் அவே அந்த சஸ்பதே. You tell him, you call him a beggar, and right away in the next line we say, you are the one who feed us all. Daridra, Ilolohita. Protect, don't cause, Maber Maro, don't cause a fear, even a little bit. To who? This religion is such a laudable religion that it doesn't pray for you first. Nobody prays for themselves. It prays for this entire world. Drape andasaspade daridra nilalohita yesam purushana. Purusha doesn't mean men. Purusha means humans. Pura ushati iti purushaha. Pura ushati iti purushaha. That spirit that lives in the body. That is, whether it's a man's body or a woman's body. Pura ushati iti purushaha. Like Ramakrishna Puram, Chandrasekhara Puram, this Puram, that Puram, we call it, right? So this is a Puram also, the city of body. The one who lives in this body of the city or the city of the body is called Purusha. So Pura ushati is Yesam Purushanam, all these human beings. Not only the Purushanam, Yesam Pashunam. Even the animals, don't hurt them. Not only hurt them, says, don't create a fear even a little bit. Mabe or Maro. Don't create. That's his Rudra's prayer. That's the 10th Anuvakam. So, in 300 words, we prize him, Rudra Tirshati, from 2nd Anuvakam. Namo Hiranyabhagave, Chenhanye, Dishanchapataye, Ukshebhya, Rikesheb. So, all these 300 words. And finally, we prize him so much, he's so pleased with us. We really buttered him up so nicely. Now we give this whole long shopping list. Really a shopping list. Starting from this whole entire world and then drilling down to your own family. Manas Toke, protect all my tails. You know who those tails are? Your children. Toka means tail. Manas Toke, Tanayo, your boy. Tanayo Mano. So that's what our upper said. Talaimale Talaikaninde, Talayale Balidedum. He begs with a skull as a begging bowl. And who is he? He is a Talaivan. Even though he is all this, he is the chief of all the chiefs. Therefore, your head should bow down to him. Finally, back to Shankaracharya. Most of you from Karnataka should know this lady. Who is this? Isn't it Akka Mahadevi? Born with Shiva, completely merged in Shiva. Vachanagalu, powerful, another Vedas in Kannada. So on and so forth. And we have so many. Basavanna. And there was another one who was a boatman. Aina Parenti, Inko he was a great Shiva devotee also. I forgot his name. So every nook and corner. You know, the 63 saints in Tamil Nadu, nobody knows about them. Shiva came in flesh and blood, interacted with them. Madurai is a place where there's not a place on that city where Shiva has not set his foot on. Such a religion. You tell me one religion that God comes to you and interacts with you as your friend. For Sundaramurti Nayanar, he went as a messenger to intercede between him and his wife. They were fighting. Shiva did panchayat for them.
Marriage counsel.
Marriage counsel. Anyway, so that's Akka Mahadevi. Now I'm just going by history, just a little chronicling. After Akka Mahadevi, this is Vallala Ramalinga Swamigal. Another one who just melted his body into just thin air. Sidra Yarwal. You count every nook and corner. Sadasiva Brahmam. Kim Rachaniyam, Kim Arachaniyam, Kim Pataniyam, Kim Apataniyam, Sarvam Brahmamayam, Re Re, Sarvam Brahmamayam. Okay. Many ladies in there. Even in Tiruvannamalai, there's so many ladies. Usha knows a lot. Karakalam. Sada Sarvatra Hansahadyanam Sadasiva Brahma Kartavyam Bo Mukti Vidanam. He says, this is your duty, my friend. Kartavyam Bho Sada Sarvatra Hansadyanam. This Hamsadhyanam has been there all along with us. Very easy. Focus your attention on your breath. Say Soham. Soham. And people are selling it for $1,000 these days. The new name, this Kriya, that Kriya. People are falling for it. Marketing. Sambhavi Mudra. Which book doesn't tell you about Sambhavi Mudra? Why do you have to pay $10,000 to sit in a front seat to get Sambhavi Mudra? Stupid. We are stupid. That's why I'm not stupid. I don't go for that. I have a YouTube lecture on who is a true guru. Watch it. It's a Sivoham TV. So these are the gurus. Like what Busha said, what Ram Gopal said. Amara Maharaj. These teachings came from rishis. What did they charge us? Nothing. Just your devotion and interest. That's all they needed to learn this. Yoga sells, you know how high? Free. Yoga came to us free. Now it's branded in all kind of names. Not this joker. This is a great saint. This is Nityananda. But not the joker goes around by another same name. It's a great stalwart of a saint. He was a guru of Muktananda. Muktananda, entire life, there was nothing but Panchakshari. Om Namah Shivaya. So he would be standing in a bus stop The bus driver would say, oh, he's like a beggar. He'd drive away. He just won't stop. You'll see him in the next bus stop. Swami Nityananda, we could talk about him for hours. That's his disciple Muktananda, play of consciousness. Nothing but Om Namah Shivaya. That's all it is, all his life. Nakshatra, finally. This is our Nataraja in our ashram. This is a 5-foot Nataraja that we have in Tiruvannamalai, Tirumala ashram. Now we have a 33-feet Shivalingam surrounded by 108 Shivalingam. So you should all go there when you get a chance. So the reason I put this, because you see this garland here. So this Stotram and Panchakshari and the glory to Lord Shiva is like a huge Nilai Mala. It's a huge garland like Nakshatram Pushpamalyam. And what Adi Shankara composed is nothing but one flower in this huge garland. And then what exactly like Shankaracharya did before 200 years before him is what Sambandar did. 10 more minutes. We'll skip that for now. At least I want to touch on this. Srimad, at least we'll do one verse. Srimadhatmane gunaika sindave Nama Shivaya dhamale shaduta koka bandave Nama Shivaya Nama Sheshatana madbhabandav Nama Shivaya pamaretra pradhana bandave Nama Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Srimadatmane. Sri means wealth. Wealth means just not your green dollars. Wealth is your health, particularly your mental health. If you're mentally messed up, not only you are messed up, you're going to mess a lot of people around you. So that Sri includes, first thing that includes is your mental health. And then physical health. And then the family. The love in the family, the bond in the family. The relations between you and your parents, the relations between you and your children. This is all Sri. Sri is just not this green box. That's the last one. Even if you don't have that, if you all have this, you still have Sri. So Sri Madatman, he is the abode, is the receptacle of all this wealth. Sri Madatmane. Then what? Because he is the custodian of all this, because he has all this in infinite, only one who has anything to an infinite measure can distribute it. And he will distribute it only if he is compassionate, only if he is giving. And if he is a miser, even if he has all the wealth, it's no use. Therefore, Acharya puts the next line. Gunaika sindave Srimadatmane. In being a Gunaika Sindhu, what's a Gunaika Sindhu? Aganita Guna. Not one Guna, not compassion, not love, not kindness, not liberating love. Infinite number of gunas. How infinite? Like a river constantly flowing. In Vedas we say when Manikandan does his Naivedyam, he chants this mantra. Madhuvatarutayate madhuksharanti sindavaha. Let the rivers be sweet. Gunaika sindave. A river of Aganita Gunas, who is in possession of all this infinite wealth. Only he can distribute this. And then what? He is the source of all sustenance. Source of all sustenance. How? What is the source of all our food is the sun. If there is no sun, there is no photosynthesis. There is no photosynthesis, there is no vegetation. If there is no vegetation, there is no food. So where does the sun get its light from? Acharya tells you right in this verse. Damale Shaduta Koka Bandhave Nama Shivaya. Koka Bandhu. It's Koka. Koka means Vishnu. Koka Bandhu, Surya Narayana. So Lord Shiva, you are this infinite light. And you just cast off a tiny bit of it. Dhuta. Dhuta means you discard. Avadhuta. You discarded everything. Okay. So this is Dhuta. You just condescended just a little bit of tiny bit of that light to Surya. And that's why the whole world is sustained by. Even in Vedas, we chant these mantras that Tvameva Bhantam Sarvam idam vibhati. Adenna mantra mani. Na tatra suryo bhati. The sun does not shine there. The sun does not shine there. Na tatra surya bhati. What else does not shine there? Na chandra tarakam. Neither the moon nor the stars shine there. What about the sun, moon, and the stars? Forget it. Even the lightning does not shine there. Nema vidyuto bhanti. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. Because of that light, everything is lit here. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. Last Lord. So therefore, this sign gets a trace of this light from that. Tasya bhasa sarvam idam vibhati. Tasya bhasa sarvam idam. Everything here is vibhati because of me. That's what this verse is. Damale shaduta bandhave Namah Shivaya. Nama Sheshidanma. Nama Sheshidan. The piricho, not the customer. That's. No, we have to go. Sheshitana. Tana. So Tana, I split the Sandhi piricho. Nama Sheshitana Madbhavandave Namah Shivaya Pamare Pradhana Bandhave Namah Shivaya. For those who chant this Namah Shivaya, by the way, this first paragraph we are chanting is for Ashwini Nakshatra. Those who chant this Namah Shivaya, this Bhavanda means, not even me. Acharya, see the words he uses here. He doesn't say Bhavasagara. Bhavasagara, even you could get across because you get a boat or somebody comes across, I'll give you a lift, please come on. There is a rafter, come down. But he says, the well of darkness, where people won't even see that you're there. Bhavandave. From that well of darkness, for those, that well of darkness becomes only a namesake, which means it doesn't exist when they chant Namah Shivaya. The Bhavanda becomes Nama Sheshita, just only Nama Matra, just only namesake. The world of Maya remains only for namesake for the devotees of Shiva. Then what? There's a beautiful one here. Pamara Itara. You heard of the head mentality, H-E-R-D? H-E-R-D, herd, like the herd of cattle and goats and bull. So, Pamara Itara, for people other than this herd mentality, Itara means other than those who are not part of this herd mentality, for those, he is the Pradhana Bandhu. So we'll conclude here and we'll come to Bharani next time when we assemble here, God willing. So thanking the Almighty Paratpara Parameshwara for this golden opportunity to share His name and His glories with you. We conclude this. Vali Tirumandram Kandamalarkangal Vali Peruman Pugalgetta Varsavigal Vali Tirumandram Kandamalarkangal Vali Peruman Pugalgetta Varsavigal Vali Avanai Vanangamudichani Vali Avanai Vanangamudichani Vali Avan Sirvadum Vai. Glory to all those, this is the song that says, glory to all those years and all those persons, all those people, all those divine souls that heard and enjoyed and cherished the glory of the Lord. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
Week?
Yes, not once a week.
Once a month.
Once a month.
Once a month. Happy New Year.
ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம் பண்ணி நீங்க வந்தது. வாங்க வாங்க வாங்க. ஆமா, எங்க யாரு இதெல்லாம் பேசுறது? எப்படி இருக்கீங்க?